Okay, I wanted to make this video for some time now, but this is the time. It might be a little bit late. I wish I would have made this a little bit earlier, but better now than never. So this is Bitcoin, the worst case scenario. And this video is for those who may be overexposed to crypto right now. So if you are a hodler and your strategy is to never sell and you can easily hold slash hodl for 2 more years with no problem, then this video is not for you. This is for those who are overexposed to crypto, meaning maybe you are in fear right now, maybe you're worried at these lower prices right now, and you feel like you cannot hold for 2 years, then this is a video for a defensive move for more cautious investors. Okay, so it's important to note that it's, during these times, especially when prices are going down, we are at 25,761 around there. Hope for the best, yet prepare for the worst. So my daughter's, it's a good time to review and remember the fundamentals. Don't buy more than you're willing to risk in crypto. Only invest in what you understand, meaning you understand what does it do. Every crypto that you're investing in, you actually understand what it does. And number two, what problem it solves. So if you don't know the utility of the token, the value of it, you don't understand it, then you probably should not be investing in it in the first place. It's also a good idea to not invest in more than 3 to 5 cryptos. Beyond that, it's a little bit too much for the brain to comprehend and to fully understand each and every one of those cryptos in the depth that you probably should understand them, unless you're a super genius. Okay, so if you are worried right now, fearful, if you're staying up late at night, I have a possible solution for you, especially if you do not feel like you can confidently hodl for another 2 years, because worst case scenario, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but worst case scenario is we just start heading back down here. Okay. And could you be able to withstand that without selling at the bottom? Because if you're overexposed, I can suggest a potential idea. This is not financial advice. It's what I've done when I've been overexposed in the past, and it works pretty well. Meaning it helps me potentially sell at a small loss, but not sell at the bottom. Okay, so for example, I did do this back in 2021. I sold around this area here. Let me see if I can draw it out here. I sold around this area because I felt in my gut, I felt intuitively, because I've been through these cycles before back in 2017. I felt that we were just going to start heading down again. So I sold a bunch here. Now I did sell some at a loss, but not too much of a loss. And how was that beneficial? Well, it was extremely beneficial because I was able to miss all of this downfall here. And then I was able to buy under 20,000 when we headed down to 17,000. I remember buying in here, right here. Remember that day? So, we want to sell high and we want to buy low. Sometimes we don't do it perfectly, and that's okay. We're human. But just as long as we sell higher than when we buy, then we're always going to be making a profit. We're going to be growing our crypto instead of losing crypto. So this is where we're at right now. And yeah, it is surprising. I don't think anybody expected it to fall off this viciously. This was unbelievable. Whoops, let me. The swiftness, I mean, it did this in one day. It dropped from 28,777 all the way down to 25,000. That is insane. And it did it so fast that we didn't really have time to react. So that's just kind of how this crypto market, that's just what happens sometimes. So we just kind of have to deal with it. Sometimes, I'm not suggesting anything for you, but sometimes it can be a good idea. It can be a smart thing to sell if you're overexposed. All right, so the idea is to sell if you're overexposed. That's a major if. Or what I can say is what I would do if I were overexposed. Oh, sweet. I'm busy right now. Can you figure something out, please? Okay, what I can say is what I would do if I was overexposed here is potentially take out enough cash, meaning selling some of the crypto, potentially even at a loss, ideally not at a loss, but if you really need to, this is a really just kind of an urgent scenario. Sell enough crypto so that you have enough cash that can help you hodl for the next 2 years. So within that, you have to figure out how much are your expenses each month, or if you went into a dire scenario, what is the lowest amount of expenses that you could live your life at if you really, really needed to, and then add up those 24 months of monthly expenses and make sure that you have enough cash. And part of that is also cash flow. So if you already have cash flow from a business or multiple businesses or real estate, or whatever assets you have, you could include your cash flow, the cash flow plus your cash, and subtract your monthly expenses for 24 months. Make sure you have enough cash that you would be able to withstand that. And also you could, of course, include your income as well from your job, your career. So, and once you sell enough cash from that, then you can sleep, you can relax at night, you're not worried anymore, you're not freaking out. Now what's interesting, one of the other reasons I'm making this video is because Mercury, this planet right here. So on the outer ring are the planets right now. And the inner ring is the Bitcoin birth chart. Mercury is going to go retrograde very soon on August 23rd / August 24th. The unbelievable thing is it is going directly conjunct the Bitcoin Saturn. This is significant because Saturn represents restriction, limitation, and it often can dump the markets. And Mercury being the planet of trading, this is quite a bearish astrological aspect here for the markets. So it's going to retrograde right on the Saturn. Unbelievable. it's exactly conjunct Saturn on August 25th. Mercury retrograde is about 75% of the time bearish. Usually the markets dump anyways, but then since it's conjuncting the Bitcoin Saturn, that just even makes it even more bearish. So that's pretty bearish energy for September. And then we're also having Jupiter and Uranus going retrograde as well, which marks a shift in the market. So this is overall looking bearish from August 24th through most of September. Okay, so also if Bitcoin goes down to 24,800 around there, if it goes below that, that is not good. If it goes down here and we bounce, that's fine. But like I was saying, if we go down here and we just keep heading down lower, then we could retest around 23,000. There is a chance. We'll have to talk about that if that day comes, but it could head lower. We'll see. But it would be very positive if we bounced off 24,800. The only thing is the 200-day moving average here. We could potentially, that would potentially be the new resistance. So that would be around 27,500, maybe even 28,000 by then. If that is then resistance, then we could stay in this range around 26,000, 25,000 for a while. Maybe for the next couple months, next few months. So that would be a slowdown in the markets. That would be very boring sideways action. So I think it's important to prepare for all scenarios. All right. And I also want to share, since this is the Bitcoin worst case scenario, a possible scenario that I've been learning from one of the TA experts in my network. And it's definitely something you're not going to want to hear if you're a Bitcoin maximalist. But shouldn't we all be prepared for every scenario? You know, do we want to just wear rose-colored glasses all the time, or do we want to be prepared for the potential reality that where these markets could be headed? All right, so I am not an expert on this in particular. However, what I'm going to share, however, I learned this from the blockchain backer, and I could potentially link his video where he describes this in the comments below or in the description box. But let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can pull this off. Basically what he is saying is his theory of the Bitcoin super cycle. And so the theory is that we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and most people think 5 was right here, but this was actually just the first part of the wave, and that the 5 ends up here in the last bull market in April 21. The reason for this, let me see if I can show this. Bear with me for a second. The idea is that we take this super cycle from the low back in 2011, and then we just bring this over. We put it towards the low here. Wait, let me see. The idea is that we start with the low of the market from 2011 and we go to the bull market high. The idea is that this super cycle is completed already, and what happens after this super cycle is an ABC correction, which would be very bearish activity. It would be an A and then B, and the C is way down here. So that would be extremely bearish. And I know nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to see that. But if that could be the reality, we need to be aware of that. Okay, so let me clean this up a little bit. If you want to be prepared for the worst case scenario, you can check out the further analysis from the blockchain backer. I'll link that in the description box. This was the Bitcoin worst case scenario, and I hope you enjoyed this and got value from it. If you have any questions, definitely comment in the comments below, and like and share this video. Share it with someone who you feel like might need this. If you know of someone who's overexposed in crypto and they would not be able to hold for 2 more years, could be a good idea to watch this video, and so they can get out safely, so they can remain more cautious and not get wrecked if we are heading down. All right, thanks so much for watching. This does not mean that this scenario is guaranteed. That's very important. This is just hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.